Hello, everyone. I am so excited tonight. This is Barbara Littles, and we are here tonight with women who are leading around the world. I have a fabulous guest tonight. Absolutely fabulous. I just landed with you all in Malaysia. And so we are going to meet her tonight, and you will not forget her once you meet her. We have tonight with us Esther Law Lee Poh, and she is from Malaysia. And Esther, come in and say hello to the guests tonight.
Hello, everyone. I'm Esther from Malaysia.
Yes. And so I remember, Esther, do you remember when we met? I remember meeting you, and your energy was off the chain. I mean, you were just so fabulous, and you are the type of person that you meet and you're just unforgettable in a wonderful way. In a wonderful way. Hi, Sean. Hi, ladies. Hi, Carla. You come on. I'm glad you're here tonight. We're going to have a great time talking to Esther tonight. I know that she has a lot to share, and so as people come in, Esther, I just want to say I'm glad to have you here. Glad to have you. Glad to reconnect with you, and just excited to find out what's going on in Malaysia, and specifically, what are you doing as you are one who's leading around the world? So we're going to get started tonight, Esther. Hi, everyone. Thanks for coming in. Hi, Dwan. Hi, Wendering. Nice to see you. You all just come in and say hello. Hello, beautiful ladies. Say hello to Esther. Hi, Elena.
Hello.
Nice to see you tonight. Wow, they've all come to see you, Esther. All come to see what you have to say. Yes. So, Esther, tell me and tell us, who is Esther? Who is Esther? I mean, because we're going to find out what you're doing a little later on and how you really are impacting the world, not just in Malaysia, but how you're impacting the world. But tell us who you are, where you're from, how you grew up. Tell us a little bit about you.
Okay, thank you, Barbara. Before I start, I would like to thank you for inviting me to join your this wonderful session. And I would like to say hi to every one of you who made an effort to join us this evening. Indeed, in Malaysia, it's 6 o'clock in the morning.
Isn't she gorgeous? Who looks gorgeous at 6 o'clock in the morning? No one but Esther.
I'm inspired by you.
No, 6 o'clock in the morning. So we thank her.
So I'm looking forward to this session. So to me, I always keep up my energy to meet good friends, especially people like you. We met in 2016. Just now you mentioned that we were seated together at the mentorship program with our mentor, our master, Dr. John C. Maxwell. That was a great session. And I always miss you. It was really an encouragement to me when I received your message through the messenger. And I really thank God for that, because I know God knows my heart, knows what I'm doing. So He is connecting me with beautiful people around the world.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I feel so happy to meet you today.
Oh yes. Yes.
So it's good to be reconnect back with each other. That relationship is beautiful. Thank you.
Absolutely. So tell us about you.
Esther. Okay. Law is my family name. I'm very blessed with this beautiful name, Lee Poh. In Mandarin, it's Li Bao, beautiful baby. Ooh. And Esther is my biblical name when I was baptized as a Christian in 2013.
Wow.
So after 2013, people call me Esther Law. But before 2013, I was called as Lee Poh.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's wonderful.
Okay. Yeah, so I was born in 1974 in a beautiful small town called Lundu. Lundu is located an hour to the capital of Sarawak. That's in Kuching. Okay, so Lundu is a town where I grew up, and I'm blessed with good parents because they give us good education. So when you wrote me an email, you asked me to actually share about myself. So I try to recall back. Indeed, I grew up in a school because my parents, both of them, runs the canteen in the school, in the
Oh,
secondary school. Yes.
wow.
Yes, I was brought up in the school, and I see all the secondary school students, coming to our canteen to buy food. Sometimes during the night or in the morning before the class start, and during the rest hour. So that's how I was brought up. I have 4 siblings, one big brother, my
Oh,
sister. I'm the third in the family.
okay.
And I have one younger brother.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
Yes.
awesome.
Yes.
What are your greatest memories growing up, Esther?
My greatest memory, I think I have most of my memories are good, and I think all my years, throughout my years of growing, and then especially when I was young, I think one of the very touching moments that always come to my mind was during the time there was once my father brought me my how to say the food for me in school because I left that at home. I felt very touched. That was the love that I felt, and it always remained in my mind. And there were also the times where my mom took care of me when I was sick. Yeah, so those are the memories that stay in my mind.
Wow.
Especially, I still recall the time when I was about 6, 7 years old, the time when I learned how to write. My mom hold my hand, and we finished our homework together.
Oh, wow.
She make sure that I will complete my homework in the most tidiest way that I could. So, and she will make sure that I get 100 marks every time I sit for the exam.
Wow.
I will cry and get nervous if I don't score 100 marks.
Oh, so you felt some pressure to get those marks, to get those grades.
To me, I think that is not, of course, at that time, to me, that was perhaps there's a fear, but I think that tension, that pressure transformed me into a better person. So that's why I score good grades in school.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So I believe that is also one of the factors that lead me, that guided me into turning into a good person, especially achieving good results. So I think I'm always a good achiever. Whenever things that I involve, I will make sure that I will achieve my best.
That's wonderful. So because that really does start, Esther, when we're young, and it's what we learn from our homes, and
Yes.
that's why I wanted to ask you. That's why I asked you about your background, because we're going to talk about the fabulous things that you're doing and the woman you are, but people have to understand, where you came from and how you grew up.
Yes.
And they can see, oh, that's how she's
Yeah.
way back, with her. So are there any particular things that you just enjoyed as a child, as a young girl? Anything, writing, music, anything that you particularly enjoyed?
Yes, I enjoy singing.
Singing.
Yes, and I enjoy doing the drawing together with my father.
Okay.
And I enjoy going shopping with my mother during Chinese New Year. My mom will make sure that she bought me beautiful clothing for the New Year, for the Chinese New Year. And just now you asked me, I think one of the some of the memories that we kept in my mind was my mom is actually a very hardworking person. So I always remember seeing her seated right in front of the kitchen, at the kitchen to actually prepare all the food for sale. She spent only 2-3 hours a day just to make sure that she can make good income for the family together with my father.
Wow.
And sometimes remember seeing her riding on the motorbikes, okay, going to because we have two homes. One is actually right in the Lundu town. So she went there to have another business that is actually because last time when we were young, the cooking oil was actually packed in the bottle. So she's very she has good business sense, and she ordered all the big tank of the cooking oil and then make it into the bottle, and then seal it with the cap and then send it according to the order by all the all the shops. In the small town.
So you had an example in your mother of a businesswoman from the time you were young.
Yes.
Okay. So
yeah.
how did that shape you? What would you do? Now I can see your mother because you've given us a visual picture of your mother.
Yes.
And so what were you doing as you were watching your mother do this? What were you thinking, if you can remember, or doing as a little girl?
At that time, I told myself, I said, one day I want to work hard as well, just to make sure that I can help them. I can also fund the family so that she don't have to work to spend her time in the kitchen and also in the business, just to ensure she has the good life.
Wow.
That's always in my mind. Yeah.
Wow.
That inspires me to do well. Yes.
That's great, Esther, because we all have something that drives us to do well.
Yes.
I think I had that also growing up, and so it's nice to know as we begin to talk about your journey that you had this inspiration from the time that you were a young girl, and and as a woman leading and as a woman in business, you saw your mother work really hard, so you had that work ethic that was put in you at a young age.
Yes, at that time, I also pledged to myself, I am to do good, because I believe that is the great achievement. With the great achievement is the best gift for our parents. So that's why I always pursue good results in order to please them, to make them happy, and then to make them feel proud for having me as the kid.
Oh, Esther! Oh, so good achievement. Oh, wow, is a gift to our parents.
Yes.
That is that is awesome. So you obviously learned really good work ethic from your parents. You saw them work hard. Are there any things that your parents would say that maybe you didn't understand then, but you understood it as you grew up, and you said, "Oh, that's what mom meant. That's what my dad meant."
Yes.
What types of things were those that they might say that you remember them saying as you grew up? Are there any things that they would say to you and your brother and sisters that they wanted to make sure you knew growing up?
I can't hear you clearly. Can you repeat?
Yes. Is there anything that they said to you growing up that you just remember? Like my dad used to say, be kind to everyone. Make sure that you treat everyone well. Are there things that they said to you that you remember growing up?
Yes. My father always taught us to be a person of high integrity. I remember my dad turning away a big bag of cash on top of his table, because he was actually asked to give way for the for one of the company to actually get to do the logging. In the mountain. And at that time, because all the people in the small town depends on the water from the river. So if, let's say, they do the logging, it is going to cause the contaminations of the environment. And my father refused, and then he was actually talking to the press, because my father is leading as the local leaders, the community leader. So he really hold on to that principle. So we always believe that we only take the rewards if we really put an effort in it. We don't take anything without an effort put in. Yes.
Wow. Don't take anything without an effort put in. Yes. That is absolutely wonderful. So tell us about Malaysia. What is Malaysia like? What is the culture of Malaysia? What is the industry? of Malaysia. What is it like?
Have you been to Malaysia before?
I haven't, but I'm coming to visit, Esther.
Okay.
Look, I'm making a list of all the women around the world I'm going to see, and you're on the list.
Yeah, I will be. I look forward to welcome you to Malaysia. Malaysia is a beautiful country. It is a country in Southeast Asia. So you know, as Asian, we have 10 countries.
Yes.
So Malaysia is one of the best countries in Southeast Asia, and then it is the most beautiful country, my homeland, because Malaysia has is a multiracial country where it is very rich with multicultural, with different religion, where people live coexist peacefully.
Wow.
So this is the beauty of the country.
Wow.
Yes, and we have a population of about 31.5 million. Okay, wow. And then Malaysia is also known with the beautiful city Kuala Lumpur, our capital. It is also the hub for the financial center for the whole Southeast Asia, and people coming to Malaysia first, mostly if let's say they want to connect with Southeast Asia, because for example, like the logistic hub, like for example, like AirAsia, you know, it is actually well connected with all the neighboring country.
Wow.
So talking about the industry, I think we actually a big exporter of this palm oil.
Palm oil, okay.
Yeah, we're very famous with plantation, and of course mining, petroleum, natural gas. Yes, and then like industries, like manufacturing industry is also doing well in Malaysia. So yeah, and I hope one day you can come here and join us.
I'm coming. As soon as COVID passes, I'm going to have my ticket, Esther. Yeah. I'm so serious. I was actually thinking about today as we were getting ready for this conversation tonight, and I thought, okay, Malaysia's now on my list. I've got to go because I've read about the beauty of Malaysia, and it emanates in its people. I mean, if you're a representative of the people of Malaysia, it is just, like I said, like I told everybody, Esther has brought, and she brings such a wonderful spirit into any space that she comes into.
Thank you. For Malaysia, actually, we have, sorry, I would like to add on further to explain. Malaysia actually consists of East Malaysia and West Malaysia. So there's a Peninsula Malaysia. Okay. So and we were actually in between the South China Sea, and East Malaysia is actually is at the Borneo Island together with Brunei and Kalimantan. So I'm living in the beautiful island. There's Borneo Island. There's in Kuching, Sarawak, and the biggest of Malaysia. Yeah.
Well, I'm definitely coming now. I'm definitely coming. Definitely coming. That is wonderful. So you were doing so many great things. Now, I mean, I know that you do business in various places.
Yes.
You are a phenomenal leader. You have been recognized for your leadership and for what you do. And I don't want you to be, I want you to tell us tonight really about the things that you're doing and that you've done and how this is impacting women in Malaysia. Because, and tell us about how women are leading in Malaysia. Are there a lot of women leading in Malaysia? Are you leading a lot of times when you're the only woman or a few women? What does that look like in Malaysia?
Okay, talking about the women leadership, to me, if let's say you're talking about women leading in the organizations, Frank, to be honest, in my mind, I just thought that I'm just a leader. I don't call myself as a woman leader. I don't differentiate myself with like woman or man leader.
We've had people say that, so that's good. Go ahead. I have had people say that. I don't think of myself as a woman leader. I think of myself as a leader.
Yes, yes, that's right. Yeah, and if you ask me about, like, of course, I think now nowadays a lot you can see a lot of women is actually leading the organizations. Like, for example, our ex-deputy prime minister, who is also a woman. Okay, there is Dr. Wan Aziza. So, and we have many women ministers, and we have women bankers who did very well in the industry, and also leading some listed company. And of course, we one of my mentor in Lions, PID Datin Alice Suryati. She is leading the Lions organization, and
Oh,
international director, past international director, a very famous woman who I respect a lot. And I have a few mentors who is also leading in different organizations, like, for example, JCI and also Rotary. So to me, I think all of us, especially women, I think we should be recognized as a leader, because we are a leader ourselves. We lead ourselves well. We lead the family.
mm-hmm.
Yes,
Yeah,
we're leading our children. We are leading our family into a good life, right?
yeah.
So and in the business, we can also be like the follower, a leader, I mean, to our business partner. So and you can see that now, I think women is actually coming up to take the role. But I believe, if, let's say, we could overcome the perceptions, or maybe the culture of the thinking, because maybe women was actually taught to stay at home, to
Mm-hmm.
be a homemaker. We were
Right.
all brought up that with that mindset. But maybe to me, my family is different, because my mother, she was an entrepreneur since she was young. A very,
Wow.
I would say that it's very outstanding and very, how to say, it's a high risk taker. She invested in land when she was about 20 over years old, after she got married to my father.
Wow.
Yes, so she is very good in the land deal, and then leading the unit trust industry as the very outstanding agent. So she did well, and and she came out as the champion of the national, champion of the country. She is a record holder. So I believe this is actually, that could be because of the environment where you were brought up from. So you can see that, like, even of course, Malaysia is a Muslim country,
Mm-hmm.
where we also respect religion freedom, where you can also see Buddhism, and also Christian can also have their own religion and gathering. But I think religion doesn't really, how to say, stop us from serving as a leader in our organization.
Wow.
But of course, talking about the equality, I mean, gender equality, maybe, okay. Perhaps I think this is also one of the government policy. There's a requirement that it has to be a certain ratio. Like, for example, 10 to 3, or some of the organization is already 10 to 5. Yeah, so this is the ratio that you can see it is picking up. But I'm sure, because how to say, women, if, let's say, we can get rid of the old perceptions, or the limitation that was set since we were young, and I believe there shouldn't be any obstacles, or any reason for stopping us from serving as a women leader.
Wow. Wow. I love that. And I'm glad that you brought that up, Esther, because I was reading recently that there are nations and there are countries who are having requirements that you look at boards and you look at places where people are leading, and there are some requirements that you have a certain ratio of men to women in an effort to try to elevate women more so
Correct.
in leadership positions.
Yes, that's right.
Wow.
I think why there's such a requirement, or maybe there's incentive to encourage women to take the role, is because women maybe in nature they feel quite sort of like, it's not that outspoken or courageous as compared to men.
Right.
But slowly, I think now women believe that they have equal ability, or even more. It is actually more capable than men. I'm not comparing, but to me, I think serving in any organization, we should coexist peacefully as a person, not like comparing whether you are a man or women. So we should compare with the way we do things, how the art of leading, and then the credibility of our background, things like that, instead of comparing whether with the gender comparisons. Yes.
I love that. I love that. Because if we did that, Esther, we would all lead well together.
Yes.
We really
yes.
would. If we could take that off of the table, we could all lead very well together.
Yes.
And so tell me, in terms of, so what are you doing in business now in Malaysia? And I know you do business in other places. So tell us exactly what you do, because I know what you do, but other people may not know what you do. Tell us about what Esther does, because it's obvious that you have just a great background and a great, you grew up in very principled environment in terms of working hard, a good work ethic, and an example of your mom in terms of a woman going out and taking care of the home, but she also was an entrepreneur. So what are you doing? What are you doing in Malaysia now?
Okay. Perhaps I will share some background about where I get started.
Absolutely.
And this is also a message that I would like to share with all the women entrepreneurs about like how I can attain, how I can handle my business and also my family.
Wonderful.
And also my social work.
Wonderful.
Okay. Yeah, I finished my high school from 6, and after that, I didn't go to the university because my mom was diagnosed with cancer. So I don't want her to get burdened with our school fees, especially when we go to the university. So that was in 1995. And after that, just with that decision, so I decided to join a bank and just to get work, just get to start to my working my work, so that I would be able to earn my income. And at that time, I worked as a shares trader in a local bank for 2 years. And after that, I told myself, perhaps receiving salaries is not my lifestyle that I would like to have. And I decided to leave. But at that time, I'm grateful that God blessed my mom with good health after the treatment in China, so she came back. And now she's 80 years old. She's still living happily with us.
Wow, that is so wonderful.
Yes.
I would, and let me just say this before you go on, Esther. I would love to think that your decision had something to do with that. But go ahead. That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Yeah. So that was my decision, and after that, I took out my part-time study. So I actually take the training program, that's PPKS with the Beijing Concord University. And why at that time I choose Beijing was because I know that China is actually the upcoming country. When that was actually in 1990s. That 1996, I made that decision, but I have not actually started off my MBA program. I started my MBA program in 2003. Okay, so I was with the bank 2 years, and then I have no regrets for not going to the university, because I told myself I can, so long I have the learning spirit, I can have the self-learned, or even can actually go for the night school and to continue and to further my study. So and after that, after I left the bank and I got and for that 2 years I made millions of dollars because of the share. Yes, at that time I was only 23 years old.
Wow.
So I know what money is. I made a fortune, but I also learned a good lesson, because at that time the market, the shares market crashed. I paid 300,000 as my school fee. I learned a lot of good lessons from that 2 years as a shares traders. So from then on, I told myself, okay, if I would like to have I really would like to do the investment. I got to know about the industry, so I have to really learn about the prospectus of things like that, instead of investing blindly just because of the bull run. So that was the lessons that I learned. But I thought that 300,000 was worth pay. And that was one of the experience that made me today. Yes, and I really strive to work hard, just to gain back my losses. So and that at that time I'm very lucky that I got to meet my husband. So my husband helped me to shoulder with that funding. Otherwise, I will be in debt. Okay. So yeah, and I'm uh, I'm glad I made a good choice because he's really a good husband. He took good care of the parents, and very loving father and husband for all of us. So
Wow.
I made a good decision by for taking that courage to marry to him, and we built our family in 1999. So before I got married, so I really worked hard and to learn about what entrepreneurship is, and I learned business from my friends. I took up courses, okay, and diploma courses, things like that, and I proceeded after my after we got married. So and I enrolled as a unit trust agent, okay, as a financial planner at that time. That was very, very early. So I learned to manage my wealth. I learned to manage my money. I learned how to manage, the whole entire financial planning. And at that time, I achieved good result as well because I'm also one of the achiever for achieve. I mean, for doing good sales. I mean, for that unit trust. Okay, but through for that few years, I came to realize that this is actually not the lifestyle that I want. It has to be something that I need to build something that that will build that will give me the recurring income. Because as a financial planner, you really need to work very hard because you need to give the personal attention, especially like
Right.
coaching them with the financial plan. So and that was the decision that that actually lead me into further my study. So I took up my MBA program when I'm still serving as the agent of the unit trust company. And after that, after after a few years after I completed my financial planning program, and I started my business with my partner. So we actually set up a will writing company and a real estate company as well to actually transacting lands. So at that time, I managed to make quite a good money.
Doing real estate.
Yes, that's right. Yes,
Uh-huh.
yes. So and after that period of time, I get to there was actually a very good opportunity where I came to know a professor from China. So that he invited me to be part of them, to join them in China. So I made that decision, and that's how I started off with my journey to serve the cancer patients in the past 10 years, since 2004 until 2014. So for that entire 10 years, I served as the vice president of the hospital. But of course, when I started off was serving as the director of international affairs department, and with my good achievement in the hospital with the service to the cancer patients around the world. So they gave me the promotion and then also made me the partner, and I served as the VP. And that was the entire 10 years where I get to meet up with international friends from around the world. Because
Wow.
we have cancer patients that travel all the way from their homeland to China for treatment. So that's how we build up a good rapport with the international partners and our patients and the family members. So
Wow.
I established good relationship with all these international connections and international friends.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
tell us, because I hear as you're speaking, I really keep hearing relationships, great relationships. You're building relationships with people.
Yes, yes.
Tell us how important it is to build great relationships with people, Esther, whether we're in business or in life, and how those relationships affect us. So if someone's on tonight and they want to know, whether they're a woman or a man, how do I begin to build really good relationships?
Mhm.
What would you say to them?
Okay. Relationship is the most important, as we were taught by our mentor, Dr. John C. Maxwell, how to be real success.
Mm-hmm.
The first keyword started off with relationship, right? Relationship is really the key in giving us a promising future and also a good outcome. Because we every day we're actually dealing with people. Now I'm also dealing with you, so we need to build that rapport. So I think in order to build that relationship, the very first key is we have to start with from our heart. You know, the sincerity in connecting, and then building that relationship. I think more importantly is we must connect with them. So how to connect with them? Sincerity, and then we must have the heart of serving them as a friend. Okay. I mean, in my mind, like, you know, every time when I meet strangers, I will just have the heart like to connect with them and then to learn from them, and to see is there anything that we could reach out to them, or maybe there's something that we could do better for them. And relationship, why it is important? Because it will determine the outcome or success of your future. Is because like, for example, we need to build a good relationships with our customers. For example, like building a good relationships with our patients. And why building that relationship is important? Because you need to build trust. Without that trust, people wouldn't give their life or entrust their life or entrust their money with you, you know, by engaging you to as a service provider. So I believe everything relationship is very important. So that is also the first keyword of our Yes group. I wish.
Tell us about the Yes group. That's
Yes.
a great segue in. Tell us about the Yes group, what it is, and
Okay.
tell us about the principles of the Yes group.
Right. So maybe I will just finish off with the continuity for
Yes.
10 years. And after that, I left food. I resigned as a vice president of a cancer hospital in China.
Okay.
And I set up my Yes group in 2014 when I left FUDA.
Okay.
The purpose of setting up this business platform, this business alliance, the very reason is because I want to build my financial strength. I know that is very, very important for me, because for the entire 10 years, I felt helpless, you know. It is like, no matter how much you have, like, indeed, I work very hard. I'm actually dealing with cancer patients like every day, except my Chinese New Year with my family. So the rest, like, you know, I receive phone calls, maybe it could be 10 phone calls a day. And together with my team, of course, I have our good team, the doctor and nurses, to take care of them. But we need to ensure there's a quality process. The process is actually smooth, and then it has to be of quality and also with high responsibility. So and we are actually in touch with our partners. I mean, in overseas. But for that 10 years, that actually make me like, I realized, if let's say my mission is to serve the patients, okay. First of all, I need to provide a quality care. In order to provide a quality care, I really need to fight, you know, to actually have the ability to set up a good facilities. By setting up facilities, you need money, you need funding, okay? And then we actually get to meet patients that has no money for treatment. So with that, you know, I just feel like brokenhearted when seeing patients that they couldn't receive treatment. And sometimes we try our best to raise funds for them, but how much you can do. So that's why I told myself, and I also pray to God that if I'm chosen to be the instrument, you know, in reaching out to the cancer patients, guide me, you know, to the right platform and to get the right calling. So that Yes group is actually with a calling to really strengthen my financial muscle. So, and then this platform is actually to gather right partners together, and so that we would be able to coexist, to synergize, to compact our effort, like-minded people, with the light-hearted, I mean the like-minded, and then with the right heart to serve. So we get all this group of people together. They could be funders, they could be investors, they could be doctors, nurses, or the technology provider. So and now we are actually on the process of building good facilities and also a platform to serve the cancer patients in a much better way. We are actually leading towards that direction. And at the same time, after I left FUDA, so by building that business alliance, I actually stopped for serving the cancer patients for some time, for 3 years, almost 3 years. And at that time, I worked, in the past few years, I worked very hard in connecting the right resources. First, we have to be resourceful. So that's why I travel around the world. I meet up with good friends, with the good facilities provide, and also some of the treatment solutions provider around the world. So, and now we are actually entering into our Yes 2.0. We already set up our foundation where we are comprised of good investors with us, and I have a finance company where I'm a director and shareholder. We were listed last year.
Wow.
We were listed in NASDAQ last year. And we also have our unit trust license or things like that, because I know that the funding is the fundamental, of building good platform, especially good facilities in the healthcare industry. So at the same time, I get to know good doctors and nurses, and also the practitioners and management team around the world. So, and we also have the right network where I have built since 2004 until now. We have connected with about 96 countries. So that's why Yes Group actually consists of 4 keywords. There is a principle. I mean, there is a value that we hold on to. Why is actually, it is actually a Chinese wording. So, 有爱斯特. So I use that. It is a Chinese acronym, the pronunciation. So that you means relationship, friendship. The second keyword is love, I. Okay, A is stand for love.
Love, friendship, love.
Yes, S is thinking. Our mindset is important. Okay, all right, and then T is uniqueness, 特别. So that is the value that we are aiming to achieve, and at the same time, I set a standards for our organizations to achieve, which I name it as a leadership model. So in the past 5 years after I left FUDA, I choose my partner, I choose the resources, the contact, the platform according to these 10 keywords.
Wow.
Leadership. L, there must be a person or organization that is filled with love.
Okay.
L, E is enthusiasm.
Enthusiasm.
Yes, A is appreciation.
Appreciation.
D is development.
Development.
Yes, E is execution.
Execution.
R is reach out.
Reach out.
Yes. S is system. H is holism. Holistic. Okay. I is innovation. P is professionalism. So this is the standard that we will achieve. And this is also the culture, the practice that everyone should have if they join as a partner or maybe the employer of this platform.
Okay.
Yes.
I got to stop you for a minute, Esther. You have said so much. We have to unpack this because you really have given a framework tonight for building. And not just building, but building well. Building well. One of the things that I saw, I kept hearing was at the foundation is, in order to do great things, you have to establish a financial platform or resources in order to be able to do that. And so I heard you a lot talk about, and I found this just fabulous. Even, and I say as a woman, to make sure you take control of your finances.
Yes.
Because everything else that we want to do, really, if we want to serve people, love people, a lot of it, to do it well, you're going to have to be financially have the ability to do that. So I love what you do. The other thing I heard you say a lot is partnership.
Yes.
When you talked about partnering with people and going out, and now you have these people in 96 countries because you've partnered with them and you've built these great relationships with them and you've served with them. But then for you to have, and the other thing was quality.
Yes.
That you said it has to be quality.
Yes.
So we're not looking to just do anything. We're looking to do things that are of quality for people and responsibility. I heard. I mean, you laid out the whole framework tonight. But then Esther, then when you got to leadership, what YAST stands for, and everyone that's YAST, YAST group is her group. But then when you talked about leadership, and so you have all of these things that you basically, when people come along, you don't have to wonder, how do I determine whether they're fit? You already have a rubric to determine whether they're fit.
Yes.
So, it was leadership. So everybody, I'm saying this for you all tonight. I'm repeating Esther. She said leadership, enthusiasm, appreciation, development, execution, reach out, systems, holistic, innovation, and professional.
Yes. The L stands for love. L stands for love. So you get the whole keyword is leadership. So if we want to perform, we perform as the leader, and we set the model, set the example. So be the leadership model that everyone can follow.
Wow. So people don't come into your presence, into your circle, into what you're doing without understanding what the model is. So I have someone who's innovative, but they can't love.
Yes.
You know, so I just think this is absolutely fabulous. And so over these, tell us the lessons that you've learned. What lessons do you say, these are the lessons that I've learned. I look back over my career, I look back over my life, because you have a family. A lot of women are wondering, how are you doing this with your family and also have a family? Tell us about that, how you manage that, and the lessons that you've learned.
Okay. To me, I always believe we can have a beautiful life consists of beautiful family, your work or your career, and at the same time with the financial freedom, a good lifestyle. The very key words that we have to practice is communication. Before I gave birth to my daughter, I communicated well with my mother-in-law. Yes. And when I get,
ladies, and men, I want you to hear this, because I hear some good stuff coming on. Go ahead, Esther.
Yes, and you have to build a good relationships with your family first, especially newly married. And sometimes we have also perceptions that the in-laws don't get along well. That's not true. I am always the person who go against the law and principle. I don't believe it. So that's why sometimes this is actually the belief system. Whatever things that happen in your life is your belief system. So I break it. I break the pattern. I don't believe that I couldn't live well with my parents-in-law. We live happily in the home. Okay, we enjoy our life. And before I gave birth to my daughter, my mother-in-law followed me to all the Toastmaster event, the Lions event. So all my friends know my mother-in-law.
Wow.
So and then she get to understand my life. So she supported me. And I started my career after I gave birth to my daughter. So indeed, there's no reason for anyone, like the family is actually not an obstacle for you to build your career. You have to communicate your goal, your dream with your husband, with your family to get the support. Indeed, I travel about 6 months. I'm not at home, so I travel around the world. But my parents-in-law, my husband, they didn't complain. But of course, they miss me. And you know why we are able to make it is because we know each and every one contributed to the family and to the common goal. Because we want to live together, we want to live a good life. So things that I'm doing outside the home is also for the family. And to us, we actually divide our job based on our strength. And indeed, I encourage my husband to retire earlier, and because at that time, that was during my, that was the busiest time where I have to commit to my work. And I cannot spend most of my time at home with my daughter. So yeah, and my husband chose to give up on her career and then to actually stay at home with the family and with my parents-in-law. But to me, he's a great husband. To me,
He is. Sounds like a great husband.
That's right. So that's why I think we have to change our perceptions by looking at things that a man should be the one who is the breadwinner, or who should be the one who work. Indeed, my husband at home, he's also working, because when he take good care of the family,
working.
My parents-in-law, he's working as well. So it's just that we work as a team. So communication is important to build that family. So for me, I can manage my life well, is because I know how to manage my time. So the busier I am, the more time I have, because I will focus on the quality time that I spend with the people or the circle that I choose to have. I wouldn't simply spend my time with with the circle or platform that is not related to my development of my my business pathway.
Wow. Ooh, Esther. I mean, you all are hearing Esther tonight. People have to go back and listen to this interview over and over and over again, because you said some things tonight, Esther, that it really sets the groundwork for anyone to. When I hear you speak, what I've heard tonight is there's no excuse. There's no excuse. It's a belief system. It's what you believe.
Yes.
And based on that belief system, you'll build your life, and you'll build it well or not so well, depending on what you believe and what you're willing to work for.
Yes. And I think another life lesson that I learned is education is one thing. It is important. But if you really wanted to pursue, is actually pursue the knowledge, right? To pursue the level of the momentum of learning. You just keep learning every day. I think we can be smarter than anyone in the world. So I like learning. And then and for me as a Malaysian, I'm the first. I'm actually the first foreigner who served as the vice president of a hospital in China.
Wow.
And I have no medical background, but somehow I'm so blessed that I get so well connected with the circle of friends, doctors, the professionals. So these are all because of our belief system. Because I don't set a limit in my mind. So I don't have that ceiling. And
listen, Esther, you said I don't know what ceiling you all are talking about, but I don't have one. I don't have one. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe it is already 7 o'clock. I could listen to you for hours.
Yes,
I could listen to you for hours. And so
I like to talk to you. I enjoy talking to you.
We're going to stay connected, Esther, and I'm very serious. As this COVID ends, I'm going to make my way to Malaysia. I really do. Yes. I also want to encourage you to keep doing what you're doing. There are so many people that are watching you, and so many people that have had the opportunity to connect with you that have been really blessed because of it. But I think about all the little girls that are watching you and have had the opportunity to interact with you. And you truly are a person who is leading well, who just happens to be a woman. Esther, thank you tonight. Is there any place where people can follow you or just check in and see what you're doing? Because you're doing some fabulous things.
Yeah, if friends would like to connect with me, you can just look me up, Google my name, Esther Law Lee Poh. You can find my Facebook, or you can write to me through my LinkedIn or my Instagram, and I look forward to make that connections and to let's get connected.
Absolutely.
And yeah, can I just end with
you most certainly can.
Yes, okay. So let us embrace our life with hearts. That is also the culture that I always practice in the past in the past 20 years. So hearts, HEARTS. We have to serve or lead with hearts. So number one, hug your future, hug your people, hug your friends, hug your resources, embrace them. E is encouragement. Encourage yourself, encourage others. So you will be always the positive vibes around, that people will welcome you all the time. Appreciation. Appreciate all the little things that happen in your life, be it good or bad. Count the blessings. Always look at the good side of it, because all the failures or the obstacle is actually the stepping stone for you to fall forward. And R is reach out. Reach out it is really the keyword in life. We have to serve the people, like what Dr. John taught us. Life is all about serving others. Okay, so reach out is the keyword. Touch people with your heart. You can touch people with your words. Use the kind words, but not the bad words. S is sincerity. And I wish all of you the best. I will lead all of you. I will let us lead our life with hearts. And thank you, Barbara, for this interview. And I really look forward to connect with every one of you. Thank you,
Esther. Thank you so much. You all heard that, lead with hearts. I mean, you are just phenomenal. You're a phenomenal woman. You're a phenomenal person. You're a phenomenal leader. And we have been blessed to hear you tonight. So I want all of you to leave good comments and vibes for her tonight so that she can go back and she can look at them and read them. Esther, thank you so much for being with us and for inviting us into your world in Malaysia.
I look forward to welcome you and hug you.
Thank you. I do too. Everyone, thank you tonight. Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for tuning in. And thank you. This interview will be posted. And we do have a link where all the interviews around the world are being posted, and you will be able to hear Esther again. Esther, again, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining in. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.